And of course, all eyes on Helene tonight, where it continues to maintain tropical storm strength, but gradually strengthening. And by tomorrow morning, it's expected to be a hurricane near Cancun before emerging, of course, into the Gulf of Mexico and encountering favorable conditions for rapid intensification. But otherwise, you can just see how expansive this system is, producing stormy conditions across Central America, stretching up through Cuba, including the Cayman Islands tonight. So here's the latest information. Because we are now expecting more of a likelihood of dealing with tropical storm conditions, tropical storm warnings have now been expanded to include all of Southwest Florida. Bottom line, we need to gear up for it. It's going to happen this time tomorrow night, and heading into Thursday, conditions will be going downhill. So tomorrow, make sure anything that could possibly blow about, nice and secure. Patio furniture, trash cans, for example. No need to put up your shutters, but that's what we're going to be up against. Things will be blowing around. We're going to have gusts 50 to 60 miles per hour. Let's take a live look outside right now. Speaking of preparations, where those preparations are underway right here on Fort Myers Beach, a spot where we are expecting upwards of 3 to 5 feet of storm surge, and that's going to be the case for our entire coastline. So somewhat similar to Idalia, if you remember that major hurricane, which was just off our shoreline last year, also produced a lot of that coastal flooding. So that's going to be a similar setup as to what we are expecting. Here is the latest information. As of 11 o'clock, 60-mile-per-hour sustained winds gust up to 70. By tomorrow morning, 8 a.m., forecast to become a Category 1 hurricane, and then just strengthen from there as it shifts up into the eastern side of the Gulf of Mexico. And we are still expecting landfall here in the Big Bend as a major hurricane. Category 3, sustained winds of 120 miles per hour, taking aim at Tallahassee. Thereafter, rolling through Georgia, even producing tropical storm conditions in parts of, say, Atlanta, North Georgia, and then moving into the Midwest. Now, one thing we always look at what are our models doing from run to run. We typically get 4 runs a day, and we have dozens of models that are run. So this is our consensus. This is kind of like the mean average of all of those major models that we look at. Sometimes it looks like a squash spider. Well, thankfully, look at this. Great alignment. That earlier run there in blue, orange run the most recent. So that gives us more confidence as to how far offshore that system's going to be, what kind of impacts we can expect here. And that's why we are expecting tropical storm conditions here. Meanwhile, our friends up in the Big Bend, including Tallahassee, are gearing up for that major landfall because of that higher likelihood. So storm surge warnings in effect for our entire coastline, 3 to 5 feet of surge expected. Other threats include heavy rainfall, especially along the coast. 4 to 6 inches of rain, of course, could lead to localized flooding on top of the storm surge. 2 to 4 inches of rainfall inland, and those numbers could very well increase. Maximum wind gusts. We're going to be dealing with gusts, especially on Thursday, 40 to 65 miles per hour. Some of those higher thresholds expected right along the coast. And because we're going to stay on the eastern side of that system, what we call the dirty side of things, a lot more energy, a lot more instability, and that could trigger some weak, brief spin-up tornadoes. So a closer look as we head into tomorrow morning, mainly dry, mostly cloudy. Right here around midday, heading into the afternoon, that's when we'll start to deal with some of those outer rain bands. So scattered showers and storms on and off throughout the afternoon, heading into the evening. And then late in the evening, especially after sunset, that's when those winds will really start to kick up. Heaviest rain expected for your Thursday, especially right along the coastline. Bands of heavy downpours again will create that freshwater flooding concern, not just at the coast, but even farther inland. And as we head into the afternoon, you can see just how quickly those wind barbs are moving, because that's when that system will be at its closest point, and that's when the winds will be at their worst. So bottom line, Thursday, if you can, hang out inside. Take it easy. You don't need to be out on the roadways unless you absolutely must be. As for tomorrow, those scattered showers and storms, breezy conditions for the afternoon. Conditions deteriorating tomorrow night, heading into Thursday. Then over the weekend, improvements are expected.
Download the free Fox 4 app for live radar and to track every storm.